Hello everyone. Hi. So the topic of today is called breaking the barrier. So I wanted to discuss about this because for myself it's very personal to me. So it's my own life actually. And I wanted to really focus on that because it's quite possible to break any barrier that we have all built in ourselves, or they do exist, or we're born within certain barriers. And at the beginning of my life, I was meant to live in a certain type of religion within my own community, obviously within my own geographical perimeter. So. So France was my second country. The first country was Turkey, and I was meant to stay in the suburb of France, around Paris, and obviously within the same given social class. So that's kind of a natural continuation. But today I'm nowhere close. I'm nowhere in any of those contexts and environment. And it seems that many people do stay within the same perimeters. And even for religion, I don't even know which religion I'm supposed to be part of, but and Singapore is my fourth home in my whole life, and I'm nowhere close to the suburb I was meant to live. People call me a social class defector when you know that you have experienced social mobility. Within a substantial change in social status, where there's a major discrepancy between your origin and your new environment. And I always wondered, and many people around me kept on asking, how come you crossed all those barriers and not us? I don't want to sound presumptuous, but today I think after half century, I think I'm able to explain a little bit more how I landed up here today, even today, in front of you. So I'll try to give you a few drivers. I can say a few factors, just a few, to within the time limited. And I can say one of them is the fear factor. Really, it may not be obvious, but there's a fear factor which really drove me to break some of the barriers. It's sad to say, but I mean, again, my first community was Turkey, and in Turkish community, at least the region where I was, families or communities are in charge of planning for you, your whole family, and all I know. And truly, for myself, I had multiple attempts to arrange marriage. It happened to me all the way almost from my birth, all the way to, I'm going to say almost from my birth, I can say almost 5-6 years old, as far as I can remember, all the way to my 20s, and even after that. And this was kind of arranged marriage between countries, I can say. We knew people in Europe, we knew people in Turkey, we knew people in the US, so we are a really huge tribe. I was meant to some kind of arranged marriage. Life in France was, I mean, we were immigrants living in the Western world. Life in France was already very hard, and if even I had to accept someone abroad as a future partner, I would have carried this person on my shoulder all the rest of my life, and it felt to me like it was a prison for me just to accept this kind of engagement. Okay, another driver which I can say is when you are no more in your native country and then you move to another Western world or any other place, you hold on to your identity, any value that you have inherited from culturally, family, community. You really hold on to keep your identity, because there's this fear of losing your identity. And it's all good things. I mean, I'm not saying this is a bad thing, obviously, but we were so protective of each other, so really bound to each other, that if you dare to do like a little step a little bit far outside of your whole environment, we would be blamed, we would be shamed. limit punished, I can say, but that was another fear factor which really which really made me feel like I was living in a prison. Okay, so all of those things, all of those things, after a certain while, after a certain time, I felt like things started to become a bit boring, and I had already explored all the corners, I can say, of my own people's practice and belief. So my curiosity to go to others and try other things were really so strong. Working hard in school, mastering the language, were means to bridge outside of my community. I would read and gather all kinds of tips to succeed in school. So all of these, obviously things were not all that obvious to move on in your life. And I had to fail a couple of, I did fail a few times. I did fail a few times in school, but I really didn't hesitate to restart all over again. So that did help me build certain resilience. Okay, and along with all this, there were, I mean, when you live in a Western world, and you see a lot of unfair treatment and this whole unfair treatment, it really starts to fuel your rage to break the barriers and get out of your environment. Now here's a few ingredients, just one more sentence, to break the barrier of your environment. When things become boring in your life, you feel stuck, and you need a bit of perseverance, resilience, curiosity, and a pinch of fear factor. I think that helps to explore new horizons.
Well done.
Elif, yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Elif.